Hey guys, we're at the end of May, and if your goal is to be in a home before school starts, the clock just started ticking. Let me show you what the numbers actually say about this summer buying season. Leg up. Here's the deal. I see this every year. Those families, those of you that are trying to be in a new home before school starts, late August, September, depending on where you are in the country, the people that are able to successfully do that actually started in April, under contract, ready to go. If you wait another month, it makes the closing window that much shorter and a stressful situation for those of you that are trying to move and get into the house in August. What I would recommend is that you reach out to the lender that you know, like, and trust sooner rather than later, and make sure that you're actually approved and are able to go out and shop with confidence. That's the key, because summer, as you guys know, will be over quickly and the kiddos will be looking to go back to school. A couple of other things you may be hearing out online that simply aren't true. The numbers show otherwise, but there isn't a deluge, an oversupply of foreclosures or homes on the market, meaning supply wise. For those of you that don't know, what makes a balanced market is when you have about 6 months worth of inventory. So there's actually been a freeze, if you will, of homes being put onto the market due to the lock-in effect. A lot of folks having interest rates at sub 4%, and the number of homes that are actually paid off. There's 35 to 40% of all of the homes that are owned are paid off, depending on who you listen to. So there's not a lot of need or motivation, or there has not been, for people to list their homes. As a result, listing times, houses are staying on the market longer. So translation, for those of you that are looking to buy, if you're well qualified, meaning you can actually close on the loan and there's no issues. That's why I alluded to you actually being pre-approved and not pre-qualified. Actually run those numbers with all your documents and know what's going on. But I'm seeing on average 3% in seller concessions. So that's $9,000 on a $300,000 house. Those of you that are willing and ready and are serious are seeing those types of concessions helping keep that money in your pocket, because there's not as many buyers out. Last thing I'll say as well, I'm not seeing a lot of angst when folks are out shopping, because there's more homes to choose from. But the start of the summer season is going to increase the competition. So those of you that are out there that are ready, if you're serious, you really need to focus and find that house that you are ready to pull the trigger on, because competition is coming. Now, we're going to deal with interest rates as a prediction, and I'll let you know what it is that I'm seeing to help further those of you deal with the affordability issue that has been an issue for quite some time. Let's check it out. As you can see here, mortgage rates, according to Fannie Mae, okay, this is a Fannie Mae article that was posted back in September of 2025, but they expect mortgage rates to fall below 6% by the end of 2026. Now, that's significant in my opinion, because I believe it was February maybe 13 of 2026 is the first time we saw rates fall below 6%. And that's a key number. It was 5.99 as far as Fannie is concerned. When that rate hit 5.99%, the applications, for me, I noticed an increase. Why am I stating that? That is important because competition. So even if you're able to buy now, as the summer is starting, you're going to get a lot of different opportunities to save money, make it more affordable to get into the house as far as closing costs are concerned. But if rates continue to go in the trajectory that they're going in, now that there's some peace talks and things of that nature, what's going on overseas with Iran, these things will increase the activity for those looking to refinance as well as buy. You have to make sure that you're ready and actually pre-qualified. I have a ton of folks that I'm working with that are pre-qualified. They're just waiting for that opportunity. And that's the best place to be. Why? Because for several folks, we've been working on credit and things that need to be addressed. have a lot of people who have a tax issue that they have to establish a tax payment with the IRS. Well, certain loan types require that you have made 3 consecutive payments before you could close on a loan. It's not a problem having the tax bill, but we need to know what the monthly payment is and calculate that in your debt to income ratio. These are things that you do not want to try to figure out when the rate hits a certain point, because now you're in reaction mode. Remember, in this community, we say this all the time. A poor mindset, a mindset that, you're always spending more money than you have to, or you feel like you never get a break, is the mindset of reactivity. We're reacting to things. Oh, rates are 5.5%. Let me try to get it. It's too late. I want you guys to be proactive. That's a wealth mind state, wealth habit, and prepare. Reach out, schedule a consultation. Link is in the top pinned comment or the description of this video. And then when the time is right, it's just a matter of either refreshing your credit report, okay, no big deal, or updating time-sensitive documents, income, assets. Last thing I'll say about the rates coming down, it makes things more affordable. The first segment, we talked about more inventory coming on and days on market with that inventory. The houses are taking longer to sell. Buyers have more to choose from. That softening is also lowering prices. It's also causing a lot of sellers to contribute towards closing costs, which all help with affordability. The last piece is the interest rate starting to come down. Now, this is not a prediction. I'm just looking at the numbers. The bond market is tied to what's going on in the world, and fear, when fear is prevalent, things change. So calmness, stability is a great thing, not just in life, but it also affects the bond markets. That's what you guys need to know. As you can see, this is an active U.S. inventory for sales according to Realtor.com. And this is a chart made by Lance Lambert over at Resi Club. You see where we are here in 2026, right? You see the line. And what that's telling you at this time of the year, the black line over on the left where it says 2026, we're trending upwards. We're trending in the right direction as far as inventory is concerned. But if you look over to the right and you look at the year 2018, 2017, 2019, right, prior to the pandemic, okay, you can see we're nowhere near the amount of inventory that was available during that time. Why is that important? Well, the less inventory we have, the more of a seller's market that it is, right? And so the prices were a lot higher. More inventory, good for you as a potential buyer, more to choose from, more supply. Prices come down, there's more competition out. Now, there's not this precipitous drop off of the ledge that a lot of people are looking for, but the opportunities are here. I don't think prices are ever going to go back to the 2019 level. There's a lot of reasons for that, and this is not the scope of this video, but inventory, it's there. The advantage for those of you that are prepared and can move now is that there's not as much competition. But as you can see, the market is getting unstuck, if you will, and it's at a great pace. It's not too rampant where there's a run up in inventory because of what I alluded to earlier, the lock-in effect with the interest rates, a lot of homes being paid off, people not necessarily having to move. So I reiterate those points for those of you that are wanting to buy a home. Listen to me, people. I'm not trying to sell you anything. If you want to buy a home, this is who I'm talking to. Those of you that are ready, willing, and able, now is a great time. And you don't want to wait till later in the summer because, one, if you're looking for the kiddos to be in place and ready to go, you don't want to wait. Number two, as we get into the summer, more families like yourself, more people looking for homes with the same scenario are coming into the market, and you have more competition. Not to a point to where we were, let me go back to the chart, not to a point where we were in the pandemic era. Let's call it 2020, okay? 21, 22, 23. We'll leave it at 23, but less than 700,000 homes on the market. That's when these values went through the roof, right? Because there were more buyers than sellers. So we want a balanced market. You want a balanced market. And for whatever reason, you can benefit from it if you are following the right people and understand, you know what, now's the time to take a look at a stick because of everything that Robert is saying, and we are ready. If you've not applied and been pre-approved, that means you've submitted an application, okay? Your lender has vetted your identification, driver's license, social security card, your pay stubs and or your tax returns, and made sure that the income that's going to qualify you works, and it's not just something that you verbally said, because there's 1,000 ways for that to go wrong, but that's been vetted. Your asset statement or statements where you're going to derive your down payment and closing costs from have been vetted, and everything is in place there. You are properly placed with a realtor if you don't have one, okay? You have your team in place. You have a plan of action so that you can execute when the time comes, because I'm telling you, as soon as you find something that you like, there's going to be 7 other people that like that same thing because you have the same characteristics if you're trying to get the kids in school before a certain time. So they're looking for that same school district. They're looking for that same neighborhood. They're looking, and the more things get better, more inventory, lower rates, folks are going to start coming off of the sidelines. If you'd like to do that with me, as I've stated before, I'm a lender, 20 plus years, NMLS license number 180100. My link to schedule the consultation is in the top pinned comment and the description of this video. If you want to know exactly where you stand right now, what you qualify for, and what a payment would look like, that's the reason for the discovery call. The link is in the pinned comment and the description of this video. If you're not ready to take that step and you're still in the education stage, watch these next 2 videos. They'll help you tremendously with your education until the time that you're ready to reach out. You guys be good to one another. Let grace abound. Indeed.